Guys, I wanted to talk to you guys about the perfection that is God. And so I wanted to use an example that I've had in my life to kind of relate to how, like, for those of you who were like me, or are like, who have been like me, and you maybe had a falling out with God early on in your life. For me, I had a trauma when I was 16 years old, and I like pushed away God, pushed away a lot of things about myself, just kind of completely shut down in lieu of like anger and upset. And, I spent 10 years running away from God and trying to fill that, like, they say that, you can't fill that God-shaped hole with whatever. And there's some truth to that. I was trying to fill it with, like getting high, or, traveling, or, a relationship. And you can't do that. You cannot like substitute your relationship with God for anything. And this is not the evangelical, like Christian, like necessarily Christian God. This is God in the way that you personally relate to God, because God is in all things. God is like spirit, source, the universe. It's not just like this like overly angry, punishing, masculine figure that many of us like have grown up like learning that God is, and God is not that. God is a very compassionate, loving soul, or like not even a soul, like being, spirit. And we are all, we are all elements of his one child, and expressions of his one child. And so, I've found that when I found the teachings of Jeff and Shaleia that you can find at twinflamesuniverse.com or unionism.org, I found that like I wanted to connect with God again, not just because like I was after my twin flame, but as I went further into the teachings, as I've gone further into my spiritual practice, I've learned that like really all of this whole journey is just about God. And, as when I was like this staunch, like atheist of like, you can't convince me that God is real, like I didn't think that God was communicating with me. And for the longest time, I felt like so disconnected from God. I was like, God doesn't talk to me. I'm going to ask him for help and he's not going to help me. And I was very bitter and angry. And there's still elements of that I'm like working through to this day. But what God showed me the other day through this very like spiritual, like awakening experience, was just how perfectly he's been guiding me, even without my knowing, even without my like consciously trying to follow him. He like brought my attention to how I've always been like, he's always been like nudging me, like putting the idea in my head of like, hey, you want to go live out in LA? Hey, you want to go live out in Santa Monica? Hey, maybe you want to go do this now. Hey, maybe work here, and it wasn't a voice that I like thought that I was following. I didn't have a concept of like that was God. I thought that was just like my inner, like, I don't know, I just want to do that. And just through a sequence of like signs and synchronicities and dreams that I was having, God was like, this was me the whole time. This was me showing you how to get there the whole time. I've never left you, even when like you were trying to get away from me. And it was such a beautiful experience. It was just like God has always been guiding me through like angel symbolism. And like when I even chose my name, I chose Gabriel because, it was just like God is my strength. And I've always been drawn to angels, and Archangel Gabriel like was like a big draw. And even to the point where it's like, he was like Santa Monica, like has between the Santa Monica mountains is a place called Topanga that I did a video in the other day, which, there's like some kind of angel symbolism there, as far as like being in Los Angeles and being like a very like musical place. I remember Shaleia saying in TFAS that angels make the best music, and there's just been all these like connections with, my life purpose being revealed as something to do with music. And, my first like well, the person that I thought was my twin flame, my false twin flame, when I first started this journey, was named Daniel. And like he, like in the Bible, like Archangel Gabriel was like the interpreter of Daniel's dreams. And like, and I didn't pick that for that reason. I just picked it because like that was the name that came to me at the time. And you know, there's just like so many like little things about that, of just like, you know, all these little details of just ways that God has been pointing me towards like where I'm living now, what I'm doing now, and like what my name is, and you know, what my life purpose is, even to the point where it's like my mother's a postal worker, and like Archangel Gabriel is the and like I've been in like communications for most of like my career, and you know, Archangel Gabriel is the saint or patron for that. You know, it's just like all these things that I'm just like, what? Like, how did this? And it's just too much to be like a coincidence that, you know, that God was just like guiding me all the way through to like claim who I am. And yeah, like I felt the presence of like, you know, what I felt like were like angels. I know this is very woo-woo right now, but you know, it felt like, you know, it felt like having wings, and like felt like I was very like guided and, you know, protected during this time period of like my dark night of the soul, and God just showing me how much I've always been connected to him, and how much I've always been guided, even when I was trying my best to run away and shut him out. But you know, it's also been showing me how like spiritual I've always been. I've always been seeking, you know, I've always been seeking the good. I've always been seeking like the truth, and some way I've always been seeking a higher power, because I didn't immediately jump to being an atheist. I was like, I dabbled in like paganism and, you know, all these other like offshoots of religions. And even like when I studied abroad in Japan, like I was in a place called Tenri, and it was like there was a religion in that that was like started in that town. I've always been drawn to like religious like teachings, even if I didn't know, like I think I was just always trying to find God and always trying to find the truth. And when I like settled on atheism, it was just because I was like, I don't know what the real God is, but I know it's not the God that I like grew up knowing, and I know it's not this one particular thing. And so I just thought being a good person would be enough to like fill that space. And you know, I played right into God's hands of like, you know, starting to take care of myself. And then suddenly my false twin flame came into the picture, and you know, I found Jeff and Shaleia's work, and then I have gone just deeper and deeper. I found my true twin flame, and you know, through all the experiences I've had there, like I found a deeper connection with God, and it was always God that I was seeking the whole time. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing that I just want to, you know, impart to you guys that, you know, if you're on your twin flame journey, or you're on any type of ascension journey, or maybe you're watching this as someone who's an atheist, who you're looking at me like you're fucking crazy, like I don't know you, like how did you get to where you are? And I just say that, like, you know, there's some things that once you experience it, and once you like go through it yourself, you can't unknow what you know. You can try, you can like, I guess, choose to go back to sleep and be ignorant, but there is a deeper like spiritual nature and reality to the world. And like once you awaken to that, you naturally want to seek the truth, or like I believe that you naturally want to seek the truth, and you want to find out what's best for you. And you know, God will lead you down that journey. You don't control it, you just allow God to lead you, and you find yourself a spiritual community that loves you and supports you and disciplines you when you need it. And, you know, that's what I've found in, you know, my home at Twin Flames Universe and in my spiritual community. And I want to bring others to this revelation, because like really like connecting with God is the only thing you want. You want peace. Yeah, you want your twin flame, but you get your twin, like you receive your twin flame by cultivating that relationship with God and really like, you know, seeking God first, seeking yourself first, healing yourself within. And it's okay if the journey looks a little messy. It's okay if on the outside world you don't look, you know, pristine and polished. And sometimes you feel a lot of feelings. Like, you know, I feel a lot of feelings a lot. And I was numbed out for the longest time. And even for a while, I was numbed out to, you know, how deep I've had this like pain of like feeling separate from God and feeling separate from myself. And it's a wound that I have to heal continuously, you know, layer by layer, and just have compassion for myself, because it's something that I've picked up over lifetimes. But I've, you know, come to have a lot of appreciation for myself, because I realize how much I've picked myself up off the ground every single time that I've been low. And I keep going. And it hasn't been me that has been picking me up. It's been God like helping me regain my strength and come back to Him. And so, yeah, like I could just go on and on gushing about like this newfound like love and devotion for God. But I just wanted to say, like, it's just wonderful. And that if you guys don't know the work, if you haven't started your ascension journey yet, or if you're on your ascension journey and you're just looking to go deeper, you know, try ascension coaching. You can work with me at sacredtwinflameunion.com. Or, you know, if you want to explore the teachings of Jeff and Shaleia to find your twin flame, or, you know, whatever it is you're wanting, your life purpose, you can go to twinflamesuniverse.com and start your journey there. But anyway, this feels complete. So I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.